Have you ever wondered why children can learn languages so quickly, while adults often struggle? Why does a 5-year-old pick up English with such ease, while a grown-up may spend years memorizing grammar rules, yet still feel stuck? Well, here's the truth. Children learn languages differently than adults. They don't stress about grammar. They don't worry about making mistakes. They don't sit with a dictionary in one hand and a textbook in the other. Instead, they absorb language naturally like a sponge. And here's the exciting part. You can learn English the same way. Yes. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or even advanced learner, if you shift your approach and learn English like a child, you'll unlock fluency faster than you ever imagined. So, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how children acquire language naturally, the hidden methods they use without even realizing it, and how you can apply those exact strategies in your daily English learning. Stay with me until the end, because I'll also share a powerful daily childlike routine that will train your brain to think in English automatically. So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive into this journey of learning English like a child. Part 1. The secret of how children learn. Children don't study grammar rules first. They listen. They watch. They copy. They repeat. When a baby hears English, they don't ask, "Is that past tense? Is this sentence correct?" Instead, they just absorb sounds, rhythm, and meaning. Over time, the brain builds connections automatically. This is called natural language acquisition. It's the same way you learned your first language. Think about it. When you were a baby, did anyone hand you a grammar book? Of course not. You listened, you imitated, and you practiced. Mistakes were part of the process. So, why not return to that childlike method? Adults often block themselves with fear. What if I say it wrong? What if people laugh? But children? They don't care. They try, fail, and try again until they succeed. That fearless experimentation is the key. Another secret: children learn through context, not translation. If a child hears apple while holding a red fruit in their hand, they connect the sound directly to the object, not to a word in another language. Translation slows you down. Direct connection speeds you up. This is why immersion works so well. Surrounding yourself with English in songs, shows, conversations teaches your brain to connect meaning directly without going back to your native language every time. Children also learn with curiosity. They explore. They repeat words again and again until they feel natural. They sing songs, play games, and laugh while learning. Fun is not extra. It's essential. So, here's your first mindset shift. Stop treating English like a school subject. Treat it like a game, a tool, a part of your daily life. That's the childlike secret. Part 2. Listening first, speaking later. Think back to how children learn their very first language. For months, they don't say a single word. They don't open their mouths and start speaking fluently. Instead, they listen. They listen to the voices around them. They hear their parents, siblings, and relatives speaking in daily conversations. They absorb sounds, rhythm, and intonation. And then, when their brains are ready, they begin to speak. Slowly at first. A single word. Then 2 words. Then small sentences. Listening always comes before speaking. This is the natural order of language. Unfortunately, adults often try to reverse this process. They want to speak immediately, but they haven't listened enough to build a foundation. Imagine trying to play a song on the guitar without ever listening to how the song sounds. It would be impossible. So, if you want to learn English like a child, you must prioritize listening. Why listening builds fluency. When you listen, your brain is building a library of sounds. You are training your ears to recognize words, phrases, and sentence patterns. You're absorbing pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. And slowly, without even noticing, your brain begins to copy those patterns when you speak. That's why children sound natural when they speak their first language, because they have listened thousands of hours before ever forming sentences. Fluent speech is the result of massive listening. How to listen like a child. Children don't study listening exercises. They simply exist in an environment full of language. You can do the same by surrounding yourself with English every day. Here are a few methods. English shows and cartoons. Start with children's shows in English. The language is simple, clear, and repetitive. Exactly the type of input your brain needs. Songs and rhymes. Kids love nursery rhymes. You may think it's silly, but singing along with simple English songs builds rhythm and vocabulary faster than memorizing lists. Audiobooks and stories. Listen to simple English stories. Close your eyes. Imagine the scenes. Connect the story to visuals in your mind. Daily conversation input. Even if you don't have native speakers around you, use apps, YouTube videos, or podcasts. Just make sure you're hearing real English every day. Input comes before output. Overcoming the fear of silence. Many adult learners feel guilty when they're not speaking. They think, if I'm not talking, I'm not learning. But silence is not wasted time. Silence is where the brain organizes information. Children spend months listening silently before speaking. You can give yourself that same grace. Don't pressure yourself to produce perfect sentences from day one. Let listening fill your mind, and speaking will flow naturally. Shadowing. The bridge between listening and speaking. Once you've listened enough, you can begin shadowing. This means repeating what you hear immediately after listening. For example, play a short sentence in English and then repeat it right away. You don't need to understand every word. Just copy the sound, rhythm, and melody. This technique mirrors how children babble before forming proper words. They imitate sounds first, then refine them into correct language. Imitate first, understand later. Your listening challenge. For the next 30 days, give yourself at least 30 minutes of English listening every day. Choose simple content, cartoons, songs, or short podcasts. Don't take notes. Don't analyze. Just listen. After a few weeks, you'll notice something amazing. Your ears will catch words faster. Your pronunciation will improve, and speaking will feel easier because your brain already knows the rhythm of English. Part 3. Copying and repetition. Have you ever noticed how children copy everything they see and hear? If a parent says, "Good morning," the child repeats, "Good morning." If an older brother shouts, "Let's go," the younger child echoes the same words, sometimes even with the same tone of voice. Children learn by copying first and understanding later. This is one of the most powerful learning strategies you can use in English. Copying is not cheating. It's not mindless repetition. It's the natural way to train your mouth, your tongue, and your brain to work together. Why copying works? When you copy a phrase in English, you are training multiple parts of your brain at once. Your ears recognize the sound. Your mouth practices the shape of the words. Your memory stores the phrase for later use. Over time, these repeated patterns become automatic. You won't have to think about grammar or translation. You'll just say it. That's exactly how children develop fluency. They don't invent new sentences at first. They copy what they hear from parents, friends, or TV shows. Slowly, they build their own variations. Copy first, create later. The power of repetition. Children don't just copy once. They repeat words and phrases again and again until they sound right. If you've ever been around a toddler, you've probably heard them say the same word 20 times in a row. Ball, ball, ball. Repetition isn't boring to a child. It's fun. And it's effective. As adults, we sometimes resist repetition because we want new information. But in language learning, old information repeated many times is more valuable than new information you forget. Repetition builds fluency, not boredom. How to copy like a child. Here are a few simple techniques to apply copying and repetition in your English routine. Phrase imitation. Choose a simple phrase like, "How are you?" or "I don't know." Say it out loud 10 to 20 times. Match the rhythm and sound. Dialogue mimicking. Watch a short clip from a movie or TV show. Pause after each line and repeat exactly what the actor says. Try to copy their tone, speed, and even emotion. Daily repetition ritual. Pick 5 common sentences you want to master. Repeat them every morning and every night. For example, "I'd like a cup of coffee, please." "Where are you going?" "I don't understand yet." Record yourself. Children don't judge themselves, but as adults, we can use technology. Record your voice while repeating English sentences. Compare it to the original. Adjust your pronunciation little by little. Story of a language learner. Let me share a story. A student of mine struggled with speaking English. She knew grammar, she had vocabulary, but when it came to conversation, she froze. So, I gave her one simple exercise. Copy one short English podcast every day for 2 weeks. She didn't need to understand everything, just copy. By the end of 2 weeks, something amazing happened. Her sentences flowed more naturally. She didn't translate in her head. She sounded more confident because her brain and mouth were now used to producing English patterns automatically. Repetition creates confidence. Your copying challenge. For the next 7 days, choose one 5-minute video in English. Watch it every day. Don't switch to a new video. Instead, copy the same sentences until you can almost speak along with the speaker. At first, it may feel repetitive, but by the end of the week, you'll notice the phrases coming out of your mouth naturally, even without thinking. That's the childlike power of copying and repetition. Part 4. Mistakes are your teachers. Have you ever seen a child learning to walk? They fall hundreds of times. They bump into things. They wobble. They get back up. And after enough practice, they walk perfectly. Now, imagine if a child thought like many adult learners, "Oh no, I fell. I must be terrible at walking. Maybe walking isn't for me." That child would never learn. Mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are your teachers. Why adults fear mistakes? As adults, we often feel embarrassed when we make errors. Maybe someone laughs. Maybe we remember a teacher correcting us harshly in school. Over time, we build a fear. If I say something wrong, I'll look foolish. But children don't carry this fear. They pronounce words incorrectly. They use the wrong tense. They mix up sounds. And no one expects them to be perfect. People smile, encourage them, and gently correct them. That's why they improve so quickly. They are free to make mistakes without shame. The more mistakes you make, the faster you learn. Mistakes show you the way. Think about it. Every mistake is a signal. If you mispronounce a word, your brain learns, I need to adjust my tongue. If you use the wrong verb tense, a teacher or a friend corrects you, and you remember better next time. Mistakes are like road signs pointing you in the right direction. Without them, you would never know what to improve. How to use mistakes like a child. Speak without fear. Don't wait until your sentence is perfect.
Say it anyway.
Children speak broken sentences all the time, yet they are understood and they improve through practice. Laugh at your mistakes. Children often laugh when they mispronounce a word. You can do the same. Humor removes fear. Ask for feedback. When you're corrected, don't feel offended. Feel grateful. Someone just gave you a gift, the correct version. Keep a mistake journal. Write down common errors you make. Review them once a week. Over time, you'll see your progress. The story of 2 learners. Let me give you a comparison. Learner A studies English grammar for years. He waits until he can form perfect sentences before speaking. Because of fear, he rarely practices with real people. As a result, after 5 years, he still struggles to hold a natural conversation. Learner B, on the other hand, speaks from day one. She makes many mistakes, but she laughs about them. She repeats phrases until they sound right. She asks for corrections. After 1 year, she speaks fluently, though not perfectly. Fluency comes from practice, not perfection. A real-life example. When children say, "I go to the park," instead of "I went to the park," adults correct them gently. The child doesn't stop speaking. They keep trying until when feels natural. In the same way, when you say, "He go yesterday," and someone corrects you, don't stop. Smile, repeat the correct version, and move on. Over time, the correct phrase will replace the mistake. Your mistake challenge. For the next week, challenge yourself to make at least 5 mistakes in English every day. Yes, you heard that right. Go out of your way to use new words and phrases, even if you're not sure they're correct. By the end of the week, you'll notice that your confidence has grown because you've trained yourself to see mistakes not as failures, but as stepping stones. Every mistake you make today is one less mistake you'll make tomorrow. Part 5. Learning through play and curiosity. Have you ever seen how children can spend hours playing with toys, singing silly songs, or making up little stories? They don't think of it as study. For them, learning happens through fun, play, and curiosity. Fun is not extra, it's essential. When it comes to learning English, many adults forget this. They treat English as a heavy subject, full of exams, rules, and pressure. But children approach language with excitement. They explore it. They play with it. They laugh when it sounds funny. And that's why they learn so fast. Why play works for language learning? Play reduces stress. When you're having fun, your brain is relaxed. And when your brain is relaxed, it absorbs information faster. That's why a child remembers a silly song more quickly than a serious grammar rule. Play also involves repetition. Singing a song again and again. Telling the same story with different characters. Acting out funny situations. Repetition inside play doesn't feel boring. It feels joyful. A playful brain is a learning brain. How to add play into your English routine. Sing songs. Children's songs in English are simple and catchy. Sing along, even if you sound silly. The rhythm and melody will stick in your memory. Play word games. Try games like word puzzles, crosswords, or online vocabulary games. Learning feels easier when it's a challenge you enjoy. Tell silly stories. Make up a funny story in English. For example, yesterday, a cat rode a bicycle to the supermarket. It doesn't have to be logical. It just has to be fun. Role play. Pretend you're at a restaurant, ordering food in English. Or act like you're on the phone booking a hotel. Children love role play, and so should you. Curiosity questions. Ask questions in English, even if they seem simple. Why is the sky blue? What does this word mean? Curiosity leads to discovery. The power of curiosity. Children are natural scientists. They ask why 1,000 times a day. And with every answer, they learn something new. As adults, we sometimes stop asking questions because we're afraid of looking ignorant. But curiosity is your best tool for learning. Stay curious, and English will never feel boring. For example, if you hear the phrase piece of cake in a movie, don't just ignore it. Ask, what does that mean? Why did they say that? You'll discover it means something easy. Curiosity transforms random phrases into memorable lessons. The story of two approaches. Imagine two learners. Learner A studies English by memorizing 20 vocabulary words from a textbook every day. It feels heavy and boring. After a month, he forgets most of the words. Learner B plays. She sings along to Disney songs. She watches cartoons and laughs at the characters. She makes up silly sentences with her friends. After a month, she remembers almost everything because she enjoyed the process. The brain remembers what it enjoys. Your play challenge. For the next 7 days, add 15 minutes of English play into your routine. You can sing, role play, tell a silly story, or play a word game. Don't worry about being serious. Worry about being consistent. At the end of the week, you'll notice that English feels lighter, more natural, less like homework, more like a hobby. That's the childlike secret. Play, curiosity, and joy. Part 6. Build your daily childlike routine. At this point, you understand the secrets of how children learn. They listen first, speak later. They copy and repeat endlessly. They embrace mistakes instead of fearing them. They learn through play and curiosity instead of stress. Now the question is, how can you put all of this together into a daily routine? Because without daily practice, even the best methods won't work. Consistency is the real magic of fluency. Children don't study their language for 1 hour and then forget about it. They live inside the language every single day. If you want to learn English like a child, you must build an environment where English surrounds you all the time. Let's design your childlike routine step by step. Step 1. Morning listening, 15 to 20 minutes. Start your day the way a child does, with listening. Put on a simple English podcast, cartoon, or story while you get ready in the morning. Don't worry about understanding every word. Just let the sounds enter your ears. Listening is your warm-up. Step 2. Copying practice, 10 to 15 minutes. Choose one short video, song, or dialogue. Play it, pause, and repeat. Copy exactly what you hear, even if you don't fully understand it yet. Do this daily, and you'll notice your pronunciation and rhythm improving naturally. Pro tip: use the same material for a week. Repetition will make it stick. Step 3. Playful learning, 15 to 20 minutes. This is where you make English fun. Pick one playful activity every day. Sing an English song out loud. Make up a silly story using new vocabulary. Play a word game or crossword in English. Pretend you're ordering food at a restaurant. Fun makes learning unforgettable. Step 4. Conversation time, 10 to 15 minutes. Children don't learn in silence. They interact. You should too. Speak English with a friend, a language partner, or even with yourself. Yes, talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing. I'm making tea. Now I'm sitting down. Don't aim for perfect sentences. Aim for practice. Step 5. Mistake journal, 5 to 10 minutes. At the end of the day, write down the mistakes you made while speaking or writing. Don't see them as failures. See them as your best teachers. Review them once or twice a week. Over time, you'll notice your list shrinking, which means you're improving. A mistake today is fluency tomorrow. Step 6. Evening story time, 15 to 20 minutes. Before bed, listen to a simple English story or audiobook. This mirrors the way children listen to bedtime stories. It calms your mind, helps you absorb natural English patterns, and trains your brain while you sleep. The daily routine in action. So, let's put this together into a sample schedule. Morning, 15 minutes listening plus 10 minutes copying. Afternoon/break time, 15 minutes playful learning. Evening, 15 minutes speaking practice plus 5 minutes mistake journal. Night, 15 minutes English story time. That's just 75 to 80 minutes per day, spread throughout your routine. And the best part? Much of it feels like play, not work. The childlike mindset. Remember, the most important part of this routine is not just the activities, it's your mindset. Children don't worry about perfection. They don't stress about mistakes. They don't force themselves to memorize. They explore, enjoy, and repeat. Fluency is not built in one day. It's built every day. If you commit to this childlike routine for just 3 months, you'll notice a huge difference. Your listening will improve. Your speaking will feel smoother. And most importantly, you'll begin to think in English automatically, just like a child learning their first language. So, let's take a moment to reflect. You now know the secrets of how children learn languages and how you can apply them to English. Listen first, speak later. Copy and repeat until it feels natural. Celebrate mistakes as stepping stones. Learn through play, curiosity, and fun. Create a daily childlike routine that surrounds you with English. Fluency is not about age, it's about attitude. Children aren't born with a special language gene. They simply learn in an environment filled with language, curiosity, and play. You can build the same environment for yourself at any age. The only thing that can hold you back is fear. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of failing. But remember, children don't have that fear. They experiment freely. They laugh at their errors. And that's why they grow so quickly. So, here's my final message to you. Stop chasing perfection. Start chasing progress. Every repetition is a victory. Every playful moment is building your English muscles. Fluency is not a dream. It's a habit. If you dedicate yourself to learning English like a child, fearless, curious, and playful, you will surprise yourself. You'll notice your confidence growing. You'll feel English becoming a part of you. You'll notice your confidence growing. You'll feel English becoming a part of you. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll find yourself thinking in English, dreaming in English, and speaking with ease. So start today. Build your childlike routine. Embrace mistakes. Sing, play, copy, and repeat. Because the truth is simple. You don't need to study English. You just need to live it like a child.